Hello everyone, I am Nivedita Jena from Ambika Prasad Research Foundation. Welcome to all of you to our channel Biodiversity and Conservation. So today we are going to discuss about the autoimmune diseases, its types, its symptoms and its treatment. So let's start. A healthy immune system defends the body against disease and infection, but if the immune system malfunctions, it mistakenly attacks healthy cells, tissues, and organs called autoimmune disease. These attacks can affect any part of the body, weakening bodily function and even turning life-threatening. And this may be restricted to certain organs or involve particular tissue in different places. The treatment of autoimmune diseases is typically with immunosuppression, a medication which decreases the immune response. Then coming to the symptoms of autoimmune diseases, while signs of autoimmune diseases differ depending on the type and location of the condition you have, some symptoms that are common to many include fatigue, frequent fevers, a general sick feeling, joint pain and swelling, skin problems such as redness or rashes, stomach pain or digestion issues, swollen glands, extreme sensitivity to cold in the hands and feet, infertility, inflammation, irritability, and elevated fever and high body temperature, etc. And the diagnosis of autoimmune diseases may take time and several different kinds of tests to confirm. The symptoms of many autoimmune diseases look like those of other conditions, so it can take months or even years to get the right diagnosis. And the doctor may start by interviewing about our symptoms and health history. Then they may run some tests commonly used to help diagnose autoimmune disorders. So the first diagnostic test is the blood test. The doctor can use different blood tests to cross-check any symptoms we have described. And then the one common test known as an autoantibody screen looks for antibodies that are attacking our own tissues, or which is also known as autoantibodies. While the presence of autoantibodies in our blood is not enough to confirm an autoimmune disease diagnosis, it's a start. Then other blood tests our doctor may use include anti-nuclear antibody test, complete blood count, erythrocyte sedimentation rate, comprehensive metabolic panel, C-reactive protein, and urinalysis. Then the imaging also, our doctor can use this test to look for visible signs of an autoimmune disease. For instance, ultrasounds and X-rays can reveal joint issues, and MRIs can show damage deep in our body. The causes of autoimmune diseases. The exact causes of autoimmune diseases are unknown, but scientists have some theories on what triggers them. The first one is certain medications. Some drugs may cause changes in our body that confuse our immune system. Then talk to our doctor about the side effects of statins, antibiotics, and blood pressure medications in particular. And then genetics. Some autoimmune diseases run in families, so we are at higher risk if our family has a history of them. And people who have certain genes may also be more likely to have autoimmune disorders. While genes do play a role, they are not enough to cause an autoimmune disease on their own. And then infections. Microorganisms like viruses and bacteria could set off changes that make our immune system attack itself. This may be more likely if we are genetically prone to immune system disease. So certain risk factors raise our chances of getting an autoimmune disorder. Some common ones include smoking, exposure to toxins such as air pollution or hazardous chemicals, female gender or having been assigned female at birth, and 78% of people with an autoimmune disease are women. And then obesity. Then coming to the classification of autoimmune disease, it is broadly classified into two categories. One is organ-specific autoimmune disease, and another one is systemic autoimmune disease. The first one is organ-specific autoimmune disease. In this type, the immune response is directed to a target antigen unique to a single organ or gland. The cells of the organ may be damaged directly or by humoral or cell-mediated effector mechanisms. Alternatively, the antibodies may overstimulate or block the normal functions of the target organ. For example, Hashimoto's thyroiditis and these organ-specific autoimmune diseases are mediated by direct cellular damage and stimulating or blocking autoantibodies. So, direct cellular damage where lymphocytes or antibodies bind to cell membrane antigens, causing cellular lysis and or an inflammatory response in the organ, as a result of which the damaged cellular structure is replaced by connective tissue or scar tissue, and the function of the organ declines. And the diseases caused by these are Hashimoto's thyroiditis, um, or chronic lymphocytic thyroiditis is an autoimmune disease in which the thyroid gland is gradually destroyed by a variety of cell and antibody-mediated immune processes due to production of autoantibodies and sensitized Th1 cells for thyroid antigens. It was the first disease to be recognized as an autoimmune disease and was discovered by Dr. Hashimoto Hikaru. So, the other one is stimulating or blocking autoantibodies, where antibodies act as agonists binding to hormone receptors in lieu of the normal ligand and stimulating inappropriate activity. This usually leads to an overproduction of mediators or an increase in cell growth. So conversely, antibodies may act as antagonists, binding hormone receptors but blocking receptor function. This generally causes impaired secretion of mediators and gradual atrophy of the affected organ. And this disease caused by these are Graves' disease, which is an autoimmune disease where the thyroid is overactive, producing an excessive amount of thyroid hormones, a serious metabolic imbalance known as hypothyroidism and thyrotoxicosis. This is caused by autoantibodies that activate the TSH receptor, thereby stimulating thyroid hormone synthesis and secretion, and thyroid growth causing a diffusely enlarged goiter. The resulting state of hyperthyroidism can cause a dramatic constellation of neuropsychological and physical signs and symptoms. Then systemic autoimmune disease. In this type, the immune response is not directed to a target antigen unique to a single organ or gland. Rather, it is directed to any different organs, tissues, and cells of the body. For example, systemic lupus erythematosus. Systemic lupus erythematosus is a systemic autoimmune disease that can affect any part of the body, and affected individuals produce autoantibodies to a vast array of tissue antigens such as DNA, histones, RBCs, platelets, leukocytes, etc., often through excessive complement activation. And the treatment of systemic lupus erythematosus involves preventing flares and reducing their severity and duration when they occur, and treatment can include corticosteroids and anti-malarial drugs. So here are some examples of autoimmune diseases like rheumatoid arthritis. Our immune system produces antibodies that attach to our linings of our joints. The immune system cells then attack the joints, causing inflammation, swelling, and pain. If left untreated, rheumatoid arthritis gradually causes permanent joint damage, and the treatments include various medications that reduce immune system overactivity, and it might take them by mouth or as a shot. And then the multiple sclerosis. Um, our immune system attacks nerve cells, causing symptoms that may include pain, blindness, weakness, poor coordination, and muscle spasms. And our doctor can use medicines that suppress our immune system to treat it. Then the treatment for autoimmune diseases, while there are not any courses for autoimmune diseases yet, there are many kinds of treatment that help control our immune system response and manage the symptoms. So the first one is medication. Um, our doctor can prescribe different medications depending on the type of autoimmune disorder we have and how serious it is and what our symptoms are. Some drugs they may use to tamp down on overactive immune reactions include steroids. A group of drugs called corticosteroids are often the first treatment because they work quickly and effectively to lessen our immune system overactive response, but this slow down our entire immune system, which can come with serious side effects. And some other drugs focus only on slowing down part of our immune system and come with fewer side effects. This can target cells that make certain antibodies or get rid of specific proteins in our immune system. And the anti-inflammatory drugs, uh, these medications help control our immune system while still supporting organ function. For instance, anti-TNF medications fight tumor necrosis factor or protein that cause inflammation, and these are used to treat some forms of autoimmune arthritis and psoriasis. And non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs help ease pain, swelling, and stiffness. And then there are drugs and treatments to help manage symptoms, including the painkillers, medications for depression and anxiety, insulin salts, sleep medications, plasma exchanges in which a machine draws some of our blood, removes troubles of antibodies, and returns it to your body, and crimson pills for acids, intravenous immune globulin, a blood product made up of antibodies that can help correct our immune system without stopping its normal function. Lifestyle change also a major point, and vaccination with T cells specific for an autoantigen, uses of synthetic blocking peptides, and uses of monoclonal antibodies, etc.